Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Andrea Hawk. So I hope you guys all had an awesome day yesterday during our 24-hour live stream. That was so cool. Very special, one of a kind. So welcome, everyone. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. I've got a fun design challenge for you guys today. Welcome, everyone in the chat. We've got Don and Jay, Justin, Kroll, Tim, Amanda. Good morning, everyone. Let me know where you guys are from. I'll be checking the chat throughout the stream today, so be sure to chat away there. So I'm going to go ahead and hop on over to behance.net/challenge/xd. So if you don't already know, this is our main webpage where we host all of our challenges. So you can find all of the updates here. And of course, if you're not already registered, it's not too late to go ahead and sign up. So you can sign up with this big blue button right there. And then every day at 8 a.m., you'll get a notification in your Creative Cloud notifications up there. So each day we'll give you a challenge, and be sure to join our community chat and Discord. I'll get into that in just a second, but we definitely want you to be active there. And of course, watch our daily live stream right here every day at 11:30 Pacific time. I'm streaming from St. Louis today. It's a bit gloomy and cloudy outside today, so I hope it's a little sunnier wherever you are. So let's see, guys, we're almost done. This is so crazy. We only have 2 left after today. So for today's challenge, I want you guys to design a mobile and web experience for finding and booking concert tickets. So use Responsive Resize to transform your mobile app into a web app or tablet. Just use Responsive Resize somehow. Doesn't matter what size. So that is what we're going to be doing today. And of course, you know the drill by now. Everything down here, we've got the link to the XD for free, and of course Discord. If you're not already a member, I'll hop on over there, show you a little bit about what's going on in here. This is a really awesome design community. If you're not already a member, definitely encourage you to join. So we've got all of our channels over here. We've got, if you would like feedback, you can submit your work in a prototype, show us a movie file, give us a link to your Behance portfolio. Lots of awesome work here. I've been looking at you guys' work. And if you're still working on any past challenges, you can still do that. So you can just post it in this channel. Or if you want to post anything else you're working on in your portfolio, you can put it in this channel. And of course, be sure to introduce yourself in the introductions channel. And if you missed anything about the live stream, the 2-hour live stream, or this daily creative challenge, that'll be up here in the announcements channels. All right, so that is a bit about Discord. If you want to, you can go ahead and grab the starter file that I provide you guys with every day. Just hit that link and that'll take you to Dropbox. And I have it pulled up already right here. So, hello everyone. We've got Anna, Cornelion. That's a cool name. I love that. Richard, Tushar. Hey guys. Hope you're having a great day. So this is the XD file that I provide you guys with. Just some resources, a bit of inspiration, and like I mentioned, what we're going to be working on today is a concert searching and booking sort of app. So we're going to be focusing on Responsive Resize. And I found there's actually a lot this time, a lot of concert or like ticketing sort of apps out there. I've used like Ticketmaster before. You can check that one out. So this one is by Wajtech. You can show something in like a calendar sort of view. You can show the stadium. I'm going to do that today. You can show the actual ticket once the user actually checks out and purchases. And you can show, the calendar like this. So just a bit of inspo. Feel free to run with those. Do something creative. And of course, I've got all the resources that I use frequently down here. So icons, photos, mock-ups, some great tutorials by our very own Howard Pinsky at letsxd.com. And of course, when you're done, be sure to share on Discord and Behance. So, as always, I've got a few artboards here already laid out, and then just some of my components. I always do put my components in the components panel over here as well, but I just think it helps like having it laid out in another artboard visually, like large, so you can see it a little better. So I'm gonna start with the home page. Let's just make the background, no border. And then I have already gathered just some textures for the background. This one found in Unsplash and added just a color over it. And then the border I think I'll make just black. And then we can add a few more of these components. I've got a search bar up at the top. So definitely give them a search bar. We want the users to be able to search for whatever artist they want. Let's see. Let's add the title. So we'll just say little tagline, something like upcoming artists nearby, and I'll make each of those different lines. So artists nearby. So this one I want to be a little bit thinner. Artists nearby, can group those. And then let's just add a little tagline below that. We can say like, find your favorite artists and get the best seats. Something like that. Little description. And, oops, can put that below the title. Make sure everything's lined up. And then let's make this not as bright. I definitely want the artist nearby, something in the title to be the first thing that users see. There we go. And then below that, I'll have the CTA button. So just a big old rectangle around those corners. And I already have some colors in my assets panel over here. Let's bring this up a bit. And then we can add, let's see, what should we say? Just like nearby concerts in that CTA button. Bring this centered. And I want to make this just all caps and bring it back up to 100%. Let's bring that up and we can group those two. It's a bit big. I like the big buttons, but sometimes I get carried away. Okay. And then let's add a menu up here. We'll just say, what are like the main features that we might need in this app, like upcoming, calendar, artists, venues, and something else like discover. Something like that. And we'll space those out a bit. And then let's say we've selected artists, so I want to bring this down a bit. And then I just want artists to be 100% transparent or 100% white. So I'll bring this up. Let me zoom in a bit so you guys can see a little better. Oh, artists with an S. Bring that down. And then we'll just add a little dot to show that this one's selected. And then group all of these. Okay. All right, so that one looks good. Let's go ahead and move on over into buy tickets. So the buy tickets page, that's the one that I'm going to focus on using Responsive Resize when we get to a larger size. I think I'm going to use a tablet size. So we can get rid of this and this. Honestly, we can get rid of everything besides the background. So let's go and grab some of those resources. Have any of you guys been to a concert lately? I want to go to, there's a Post Malone concert coming in Chicago, which is pretty close to St. Louis. It's like a 5-hour drive, but that's something that I would want to go to. And let's see. Buy tickets. And then let's say Post Malone. Let's say we selected that. Okay. And then let's just add a card behind. Oh, social. That's a good idea, Justin. Yeah, friends and family that are interested in shows. I'm going to do that instead of calendar. Social. Oops. Because calendar and upcoming are kind of the same thing. Yeah, good idea. Okay, so now we can add, I've got this illustration I made of a stadium. Man, I do not recommend making an illustration for the stadium because this took so long. I made this in Illustrator and it's a little blurry, but just like I had to make all those dots. Yeah, it was way too much time. So you can just do something like zoomed in, like just do one section or something to make it easier. So let's say we have like clicked on one of these dots, or you can do like a zoomed in view where you just have a few seats. So this is the call out, like that seat is $150. And then let's add some text. So I'm using usual again, my fave lately. Usual and Montserrat, those are my two favorites right now. Okay, so let's say like available seats and then sold out. He goes in Michigan. Shaky Graves, is that an artist? I don't know who that is. Sold out. And then we will just add some circles. This is like our, what do they call it? Keyframe? There's a word for whatever this is. And then this will be this little like purpley color that I used for the seats that are not available. Okay, let's make this a bit smaller. Maybe like 15. And then we can group these together. So while I'm doing this, I want to be cognizant of how I'm grouping things. Because when we get to responsive resize, it kind of matters what things are grouped together. So I first make sure like these two are grouped together and these two, and then I can group these two together. So start from the bottom layer, like the basic, most tiniest features, and then start grouping upwards. And then after that, let's do a drop down for like selecting the sections. Oh wait, actually, I think I have a component like this. Yes, I do. So we'll do like floor seats or like sections and rows. How about that? Make sure that's centered. And let's say section. And then the other one will be row. Put that right there. A bit too big. That's good. Copy and paste. Actually, let's make that a little smaller. Medium. And then this will be row. Okay, so now we can group those together, group these together, and then group these together. No border. And then we can just copy over this button and we'll say purchase. Purchase. I'll drag this in a bit because I want to have space for just how much the ticket is. No one wants to buy it without knowing for sure. Copy that. Paste it here. And we'll just make it that kind of tealy color. Needs some more space. Let's move these up a bit. Oh. Okay. And let's move this up a bit. I feel like half of design is just like moving things around. That's why there's that term pixel pushers, because it's just tiny little minute movements all the time. Okay, so that one looks good. I can go on to tickets. First though, I think I want to make this one responsive because that's what today is all about. So in case I don't get to ticket, so let's go ahead and Command S to save. And let's see, I already have an iPad Pro started. You can use web or whatever. So initially I wanted to make this web. Let me zoom out a bit. And the web version, Responsive Resize, it just wasn't working. It just wasn't looking how I wanted it to look. So I think for web you should have like half with the stadium and then half with like the text. But with Resize that was not a good example. So I'm doing tablet instead. So like I mentioned, when you're doing Responsive Resize, you want to make sure all of your elements are grouped properly because that's the way that they will be like gathered while they're resizing. So let's go ahead and select all of these and then we'll turn on Responsive Resize and then we can just start dragging. So I will say that Responsive Resize will take you like 75% of the way, but you have to do a little bit of editing after. But it is pretty awesome. So I'll grab all of those and then start dragging and then we can see what we need to adjust. So this actually is pretty close. The background, this was a vector, so we need to just change this. Let's get rid of this. And then I'll just like use a clipping mask. Make this horizontal. And yeah, I'll just clipping mask this. And then just object, mask with, oops, mask with shape. There we go. And then I'll round those corners a bit. Okay. And then we need to send this to the back. So I'll go back into our layers panel and bring this back here. And I'll kind of click through and show you how I adjusted all of these Responsive Resize elements. So these two items, we can keep those on auto. That one turned out fine. Usually with things in the top left and right, it's okay. And for tablet size, this is probably pretty similar to like the size of our thumb where we'll be clicking around as it would be on mobile. So we can keep those the same size. This background, so this we want to be all the way around, and we don't want it to have a fixed width and we don't want it to have a fixed height. So that's what we could have done for that one. Tickets and like this text, I did change it to manual. So these two, it should be connected to the top and to the side. If it was like right aligned, then we would change it to this one, but we'll keep it on left. And fixed width is fine. And then this guy, so let me give you an example. Let me delete this. So I'll give you an example of what it would look like before I edited all of that, all of the Responsive Resize elements. So you can see before I edited a bunch of these things, it does do a lot of the work, but you do need to go in with manual and adjust some of those elements. So let's see what else I did. So I grouped all of these. So first you need to group these two together, group these two items together. And for these, I wanted them to be connected to the left and the right side. So we can keep both of these on. We don't want them to have a fixed width or height, so we don't need to do any of those. And then this bottom line here, I did connected to the left and the bottom. And then the stadium, so I grouped this little call out element and the stadium itself. And let's see. This was manual and I want it to be huge, so that's why I made it all the way around. The only thing I would change, I think, with this is just bringing these guys in a bit so they meet in the middle. That's a bit crazy looking. Maybe I'll just line them up with the purchase. Okay, that's a lot better. So I'll put these like here. And I think one of the main things when you're resizing is you can add more elements like on a tablet because you have a lot more space. You could show like this, like the huge zoomed out view, and on the right side you could show a zoomed in view. So use that space to your advantage. You could totally just go crazy with that. So I think these I'll keep up there. Okay, so that's a little better. All right, so I'll go ahead and delete this. I don't have time for the ticket page, but I'll show you what that one looked like. The pre-baked one. So this was the ticket one. Okay, so that was a little bit about responsive resize. That flew by pretty quick, but just play around with the auto versus manual, and sometimes you just have to test it out while you're resizing it and then go back and adjust these, like what side it's magnetic to. So just play around with that, see what you come up with. And I'm gonna go ahead and Command S to save, and we can export some of these. So let's go up to File, Export, Selected, and let's see. I'll make a new folder. Concert PNGs, export those. And then let's go into Behance. And oh, Kevin said you do realize you don't have a seat selection option, right? I probably should have added that. Maybe I could do that instead of like row. Yeah, good call. So make sure you add seat when you're doing yours. All right, so I already started this project. So I'll show you how to add your PNGs. Scroll down a bit. Day 7. All right. So it's super easy. You just go, where did I save these? There we go. I'm just gonna do the iPad one. So you just drag it in there. And then you can reorder if you want. But the main thing you want to do is go over to your discoverability tab and make sure you have the keyword XD Daily Challenge. Otherwise, we won't be able to find your work and give you feedback if you want it. So make sure you do that. Hiren is asking, is there an After Effects challenge? Unfortunately, there's not. I think just because After Effects takes a bit longer and it's a little more detailed, but you could ask the folks. As of right now, there is not one. So let's go ahead and save. And then we can go over to Behance, and I'm going to search for some of you guys' work. You've been doing an awesome job. Let's search by most recent. I had a lot of you guys doing the teleportation one, which I loved. That was so fun, seeing all of your creative ideas. Okay, so I already have a few pulled up. So this one is by Amanda. Thank you, Amanda, for submitting this. Let's see what her prototype looks like. Oh, let's go to the back. Cool, love that. So where do you want to jump to? Go into Germany, search for spots. Okay, that's cool. I can't read German, but the layout visually looks nice. The steps make sense. Very cool. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that, Amanda. That is so cool. I had a few more left, but I'll save these for tomorrow. That is about all the time that we have left for you guys. Thank you guys all so much for joining. I'll be back here again at 11:30 Pacific time tomorrow. Only 2 more days left, so let's keep going strong. And after this, we have our XD live stream with Jack Watson, so stay tuned. Have a great day. Bye, guys.